playlist. And we'll begin. So, again, let's just start off with we'll do our little standing meditation, and then we'll move into our Qigong, and then we'll dive back into our Tai Chi practice. Now, can you guys see me okay? Am I lit enough? A little overcast here.
A little bit in the shadow.
But I am a little bit in the shadow, huh? Let me see if this makes a difference. You guys get to see my messy lanai. Let's see if this makes a difference. All right. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better for me.
Okay. All right. I think so too, right? John, how was that? Olivia?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is good.
Okay, great.
I'm trying to get in the light too, but I just can't find it. Never can find it. Anyway, I'm here.
Yeah. I can see you. You look good. You look good. You're good.
Okay.
Ellen, you're a little in shadow, Ellen, but again, I can see your silhouette. And that's what's most important.
Okay.
Always I can see kind of what your image is doing.
Okay. It's because the light's in back of me, so.
Right. Exactly. Well, let's begin, you guys. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. All right. So again, right. Let's just take these first few moments just to get connected with your body. Right, and what I want you to do is just begin to experience the floor underneath your feet. Right? Just sense the body weight sinking down. Soften your gaze, and then just gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And then again, we're just sensing that body weight grounding down through the heels of the feet. Soften in the soles of the feet. Ground down through the balls of the feet, and then just let those toes just gently spread out onto the floor. Soften in the tops of the feet. Soften around and then we'll just gently work our way up the body, right? And just letting go of any tension in the shin. Soften the knees from back to front. Just allowing the knees to be gently springy. Allowing the ankles to be gently springy. So the ankles release from front to back. The knees release from back to front. And then let the hips release from front to back. As you soften the muscles in the front of the hips. Soften the thighs. And then bring your attention to the tip of the tailbone. Again, imagine that tailbone being pulled down deep into the center of the earth. And as that tailbone is gently being pulled down deep into the center of the earth, sense that little bungee cord attached to the crown of the head, and that crown of the head is being pulled up towards the sky. So again, as the body weight grounds down, the spine gently lengthens as the tailbone is gently pulled down and the crown of the head is gently pulled in opposition towards the sky. Soften any tension in the low back, lengthen and widen through the low back. Soften any tension in the abdomen, the belly, front of the hips. And then just let go in the ribs. Let go in the side ribs, the low rib. Lengthen and widen through the back. Releasing any tension in the muscles in between the ribs all the way up to the breastbone and to the clavicle, base of the neck. Soften in the shoulders, open in the armpits, unwinding down the upper arms to the elbows, soften in the elbows. Unwinding down the forearms to the wrists, soften in the wrists. Soften in the palms of the hands, backs of the hands, and then just unwind and release all the way out to the very tips of the fingers. Bringing your attention back up through the body, release any tension in the neck from the base of the skull all the way down to the top of the shoulders. Soften in the jaw, soften in the forehead, muscles around and behind the eyes. And then again, we'll bring our attention, we'll just ground down through the floor as we lengthen up through the spine. And then just gently bring your attention to your breath. Right, so again, we'll begin just by exhaling all the air out of your lungs as you ground down, root into the floor. And as you inhale, pull that breath, energy, light, whatever visual works for you, up to the crown of the head and out to the tip of the fingers. Again, as you exhale, we're bringing it in and channeling it back down through the floor. And then as you inhale, you're pulling it up to the crown of the head and out through the tips of the fingers. And again, just stay with that for a few breaths according to your rhythm. Exhale, it goes in and down. Inhale, it comes up and out. Exhale, in and down. Inhale, up and out. One more time. Exhale, in and down. Inhale, up and out. And then again, we'll exhale in and down. And this time, as you bring that breath, energy, and light up, you're going to open your eyes as you inhale. And then we'll come right into your Qigong. So as you exhale, we're just going to release ankles, knees, hips. And then again, as you inhale, we're going to pull the energy up, splash it on the face, and then release back down. Exhale, fully release ankles, knees, hips. Inhale, pull the energy, light breath up, splashing water on the face. And then again, exhale, release. Exhale, fully. Inhale, pulling the breath up. Exhale, release back down. Release the ankles, knees, hips. Inhale up, all the way up. Exhale, back down. Exhale, fully. One more time. Inhale up again. This time we'll flip the palms over, reach all the way up. Inhaling. Exhale, finger pain down the walls. Inhale up, all the way up, flipping the palms over. Continue the inhalation all the way up. Exhale, finger painting down the wall. So again, our awareness is all the way out to the tips of the fingers. Inhaling up, spinning the fingers up, reaching the fingers up, and then again, as you exhale, finger painting down the wall. Right? Inhale, breath comes up through the feet, all the way up to the crown of the head, out to the tips of the fingers. Exhale, finger paint down the wall. Here we're just going to splash water on the face. Exhale and release. And then again, we'll come right into that separating heaven and earth by bringing the left hand right there to your diaphragm, right hand down there to the pelvic floor. Exhale fully. And as you inhale, we'll pull that right hand from behind, flip the palm over, and then press both hands. Right hand goes up, left hand goes down, and then we're going to spin the wheel using the index finger and middle finger. Again, from here, we'll flip the palms over so they face each other. We'll inhale, pull that right hand up from behind. Once it reaches the sternum, we'll spin it. It stops about eye level, and then it presses on up to the ceiling. We'll spin as you exhale. Fingertips come to the midline. Flip the palms over. Inhale. We're going to bring it up from behind. Exhale, spin. Inhale, flip. Bring it up from behind. Let's do that one more time. Exhale. And as you press, the tendency sometimes is to focus on the right hand coming up, but I want you to focus just as much on the left hand pressing down. Exhale, spin. Beautiful, you guys. And then again, we'll bring the hands together. Exhale, release. Inhale, we're going to splash water on the face. Exhale, release. This time we'll bring the right hand to the just below the sternum, left hand to the pubis bone. Then again, we're going to inhale, pull the left hand up from behind, flip it around, press up, press it up and down, and then rotate the hands. Exhale fully. Inhale, flip, and pull that left arm up from behind. Again, pressing just as much as you're pushing up. Spin the arms. Again, inhale, flip, pull the left hand up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, flip, pulling it up. Exhale, rotate. It's a light, gentle attention at the tips of the fingers. Inhale up, all the way up. Last one here. Exhale, rotate. And then again, we'll inhale, bring it together. Exhale, release. Inhale, splashing water on the face. Exhale, release, and we'll come right into that wise owl gazes backwards. So we're going to open up the hands, spinning the arms out. Exhale, rotate, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale up, splashing water on the face. Exhale, down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, open up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. We'll splash water on the face one more time. Exhale here. Again, we'll take that big ball of breath, big ball of chi. We'll pull it into the center of the belly. We'll bring that diamond to the small of your back. And again, gently pressing the hips forward. And then inhale, coming back up. Running the hands down the backs and the legs. Inhale slowly around and up. Diamond back at the center of the belly. Exhale, diamond comes to the small of the back. Gently pressing the hips through. Inhale, coming back up. Flipping the palms over. Running them down the back of the legs. Only as far as feels right for you. And then inhale slowly around and up the front of the leg. Diamond at the center of the belly. Diamond to the small of the back. Gently pressing the hips through. Inhale, back up. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale around, back. Diamond at the center of the belly. Let's just do that one more time. Diamond to the small of the back. Exhale, pressing through. Inhale, slowly up. Flipping the palms over, running them down the backs of the legs. Slowly around and up. We'll finish by splashing water on the face. Exhale, release. Gentle fists. And we'll come into that constant bear. Gently tapping the side ribs, gently tapping the small of the back. Yeah, great, you guys. All right, how's everybody feeling?
Good. That was nice.
Good, good. Yeah, it's been a little bit, right, Ellen?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, Qigong always feels really good. All right, so Ellen, so what we've been doing the last last couple of sessions is we'll spend the first few moments just going through the Tai Chi form. We'll do it 3 times through, and then we'll discuss kind of where you guys are and see if there's anything that we want to work on. And then we'll just kind of break down each little section, one section at a time, and just kind of examine the nuances. Let's begin. So again, I'm going to face away from you guys. What we'll do is we always do, right? So again, here we go. Feet together, heels touching. And please don't hesitate to let me know, since I can't see you. Let me know if if I'm in shadow or if you can't hear me or something's just not correct. So again, right? Armpits nice and loose. The arms gently rotate to where the thumbs are gently touching the thighs. Right, we're going to release the ankles, knees, hips. The body weight grounds down through the floor. The tailbone is gently pulled down deep into the center of the earth. The back of the skull, crown of the head is gently pulled up towards the ceiling. 1, we're going to shift into that right foot. 2, we're going to step to the side with the left. 3, we're going to shift into that left foot. 4, we're going to turn that right foot in. Just a little bit. We're going to release ankles, knees, hips. And as you inhale, you're going to reach out and up as the tailbone is gently pulled down and in. Exhale, we're going to slowly pull the fingertips back to you. And as you inhale, the tailbone pulls down, the elbows pull down, and the fingers gently rise. Exhale, let the finger paint down the wall. 1, shift into the left. 2, turn and open up on the right. And you're going to pick up that ball. 3, we're going to shift into that right foot. Step directly forward with the left foot. Shift into that left foot. We're going to turn that right foot in as the left hand comes up, right hand goes down. Ward off left. 1, turn to the left. both palms face each other. 2, spin back to the right. 3, take that step back into the right. Shift your weight into that right foot. Then we're going to turn that left foot in as the left elbow drops down and the right hand comes up. 1, spin to the right. 2, shift your weight back. 3, sweep the arms down and away, palms face out. The palms are going to come up. We're going to shift our weight forward, and then we're going to push the palms together. Shift the weight back, open up the hands, shift the weight forward, and push that big wave of water. Shift the weight back, extend the arms. Turn that right foot in as you bring the arms around. Shift your weight into that right foot, put a pinch of salt in your palm. Then we're going to spin out as we extend that right arm up and to the right. Then we're going to step back into the left. Shift your weight into that left foot. Bring that left palm up. And then turn that right foot in on the heel. Beautiful, you guys. Then again, 1, we're going to shift back, extend. 2, we're going to turn that left foot in. 3, shift your weight into the left foot as you pick up that right heel. 4, step to the right. 5, shift into that right foot, turn that left foot in, both feet are pointing forward. Exhale, bring the arms down, and as you inhale, the right arm comes out in front, left arm comes closer to the body. And then as you exhale, we'll bring both arms down by your side. Again, right back where we started, with the thumbs gently grazing the thighs. All right, let's do it again. Right, so again, feet touching, heels together, thumbs gently grazing the sides. We're going to release the ankles, the knees, and the hips as the tailbone gently pulls down deep into the center of the earth. The back of the skull, crown of the head pulls up towards the sky, and we're open and soft in the armpits. 1, shift to the right. 2, step to the left. 3, shift to the left. 4, turn that right foot in. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. And as you inhale, the tailbone is pulled down, the hands gently rise. 1, we're going to pull the fingers back towards the body. 2, tailbone pulls down, elbows pull down, and the fingers rise. Exhale fully, we're going to release those fingers back down. 1, shift to the left. 2, pivot out on the heel of the right, pick up the ball. Shift into that right foot, gently step forward with the left foot. Shift into the left foot. We're going to turn that right foot in. As the left hand comes up, the right hand goes down. 1, spin to the left, both palms face each other. 2, pivot back to the right. Take that step back into the right. Shift your weight into that right foot, and then turn that left foot in. The left elbow drops down, and the right hand comes up. 1, turn to the right. 2, shift your weight back, left hand below the right elbow. 3, sweep the arms down and away. The palms float up as we shift our weight forward, and then we press. Shift the weight back, open up the hands. Shift the weight forward, push that big wave of water. 1, shift back, extend through the arms. 2, turn that right foot in as you bring the arms around. 3, sweep back, put a pinch of salt in the palm. 4, pivot out as you bring that pinch of salt up into the right. 5, step back into the left, shift your weight into that left foot. The left palm comes up, turn that right foot in on the heel. 1, shift your weight back. 2, turn that left foot in. Shift into the left, pick up the heel, step to the right. Shift into the right, turn that left foot in. Hands come down. Right arm on the outside, left arm on the inside, and then release. Let's do that one more time. Again, we're going to release ankles, knees, hips. The tailbone pulls down, the crown of the head pulls up towards the ceiling. Open and soft in the armpits. 1, shift to the right. 2, step to the left. 3, shift into the left. 4, turn in the right. Again, exhale fully. As you inhale, the tailbone pulls down, the fingers rise. Exhale, the fingers pull back towards the body. Again, tailbone down, elbows down, fingers rise. And then we're going to finger paint down the wall. 1, shift into that left foot. 2, pivot, open up on that right heel. Shift into that right foot, step forward with the left. Shift into the left, turn that right foot in on the heel, left hand up, right hand down. 1, pivot to the left, both palms face each other. 2, pivot back to the right. 3, take that step back into the right. Shift your weight into that right foot. Turn that left foot in on the heel. Ward off right. 1, turn to the right. 2, shift your weight back. 3, sweep the hands down and away. Palms float up. Shift your weight forward. Press the palms together. Shift your weight back. Open up the hands. Shift your weight forward. Push that big wave of water. Shift your weight back. Extend through the arms. Turn that right foot in as you bring the arms around. Shift your weight into the right foot. Pinch of salt in the palm. Pivot out. Extend the arm to the up and to the right. Back into the left. Shift your weight into that left foot. The left palm comes up. Turn the palm out. Pivot the foot in as you bring the arm around. 1, shift your weight back. 2, turn that left foot in. Shift into the left. Pick up the right heel. Step to the right. Shift your weight to that right foot. Turn both feet facing forward. Hands come down. Right arm on the outside. Left arm on the inside. And then release. All right, you guys. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good.
Any questions?
Yeah.
John?
I think I get a little bit lost with, it seems like right before the pinch of salt, my balance is off somewhere, and I don't know how to correct that. So we're doing, let's see what happens. We've done the pushing, and do you move your arm before you move them forwards?
Can you show me?
Yeah. Okay. So we are here, and then this.
Yep.
This, and then I know you go this way.
Yeah.
Do you go backwards first, or is it just always just forward?
It's really it's cool that you mentioned that, because that's exactly what I was thinking about as far as like what little nuance to present to you guys today. So it's ironic that you bring this up. So in the Tai Chi Classics, and this is actually, I think, in the Tao Te Ching, if I'm not mistaken, there's a saying, you have to turn a little to the right before you turn to the left, right? And some of these little sayings have become almost like common nomenclature, right? Like what goes up must come down, right? Little things like that you'll find in this literature that was written, thousands of years ago. And that's one of them. And the idea is it's about learning to move efficiently. And so I'm going to kind of give a long answer to a simple question, but I think it's going to make more sense if I kind of give it some background. So anytime you're moving in Tai Chi, you're always going to kind of counter in the opposite direction first. And here's what I mean by that. So like if you're opening a jar, right? If you're opening a jar, I'm tightening something, right? If I'm gonna turn it, I'm gonna kind of release before I turn it in order to turn it. Does that make sense? Right. So I've got to spin a little to the left before I spin to the right. And that's what you're doing here, right? So when we go, and there's more to it, and there's some logistics to it as well, John. But what I'm going to do, right, is I've got to shift my way back, right? That's the logistics, right? Here I'm in this position right here. In order for me to get around here, I've got to shift that way back, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my way back into that back foot. But what that does, and if you'll notice, let me see if I can make sure it's a good image on me. If you'll notice, not only I'm shifting back, but I'm not just shifting straight back, right? I'm shifting back and I'm kind of winding into that hip. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
So what I'm doing is I'm actually shifting, I'm turning a little to the right. And what that allows me to do is to spin to the left.
Okay.
Then I'm going to shift the weight back into the right. And as I do, I'm kind of winding into that right hip. So when I spin back to the left and extend the arm, I'm able to do so. Right? So here's this direct logical answer for you, right? Is the first thing is you feel a little stuck because you're right here and you're not quite sure how to get around. The first thing you got to do is shift that weight back into that back leg.
Right.
And then turn in, right? And that's you'll usually find your answer where to move if you kind of take a moment and just think, okay, where's the weight? If I need to move, I'm probably going to have to shift the weight. Tai Chi is all about shifting weight, right? So I'm probably going to, if I'm here, I'm probably going to have to shift that weight into the back leg, right? Same thing if I'm going forward, right? If I'm coming into the press, if I'm coming into that press or the push, if weight's on the back leg, I'm going to have to shift that weight forward to come into that position, right? So that's what's going on here. Number one, you've got to shift that weight back so you can free up this leg to be able to move. But as you do so, you're winding into the hips so we can spin back to the left. And then again, we're going to wind into the right to spin back to the left. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And again, I know that's a long-winded answer to your question, but I think it's going to have more relevance, and I think it's going to be able to give you something to build on as opposed to just giving you the answer.
Okay.
So let's do this. Let's do that whole section, and let's take it from the push, right? So we'll start off in this position right here, right foot in front, left foot behind, and somebody's running at you really, really fast, and you're telling them, whoa, slow down, slow down. So this is push. We're going to one, right, shift the weight back into that left foot. And I want you to kind of experience, as you shift that weight into that left foot, I want you to experience that little bit of a wind into that left hip, right? So we're kind of turning a little to your right with the hip and the torso, and then we're going to spin to the left, pivoting that right foot in.
Right.
Now we're going to shift that weight into that right foot. We're going to put that pinch of salt into that left hand, right? Pinch of salt from the right hand into the left hand. And as we do, we're kind of winding into that right hip a little bit. And what that's going to allow you to do is unwind as you pivot on that left toe and extend that right arm up into the right. Weight still on that right leg. We're just going to release and send that left foot back into the left.
Right.
You're going to shift your weight into that left foot, kind of, again, wind into that left hip. We're going to bring that left hand up, and then we're going to turn that right foot in on the heel as you bring the arm around and you pivot the hand around. One, we're going to shift right into that right foot, extending that left arm. And same thing, right? As you shift that weight into that, your body wants to turn a little to the left. And then two, we're going to spin, pivot on that left heel as we turn in. Then we're going to shift that weight into that left foot, and we're going to step back. Shift into that right foot. You're going to turn both feet pointing forward. And then again, we're going to release the arms down. The right hand goes on the outside, left hand on the inside. And then we'll slowly release both hands down, thumbs grazing the thighs.
Mm-hmm. That was helpful.
All right, great. That's, and I mean, again, so there's always this winding, right? Sometimes we look at movement, we always see is that kind of one-dimensional or even two-dimensional, like forward and back motion. But in Tai Chi, everything's spinning. right? Everything's spinning. It's moving three-dimensionally.
Right.
Let's do that much again from the push, right? So we'll just cover that same thing again from the push. All right, so again, somebody's running at you really fast. Whoa, slow down. All right, 1, we're going to shift our weight back into that left foot, winding into that left hip, turning a little to the right. 2, spin back to the left as we bring the arms around. Again, we're going to shift into that right foot, wind into that right hip, turning to the right, and then we're going to unwind, spin back to the left as we extend that. 1, we're going to step to the left. We're going to shift that weight into that left foot, and as we do, we're going to wind into that left hip, and then we're going to unwind as we bring the palm up, and then we unwind even more as we pivot that foot in. 1, shift the weight back, wind, spin a little to the left, spin back to the right, shift into the left, step to the right, shift into the right, turn a little in the left, then we're going to bring the arms down, right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside, and then again, sweep the arms down.
Sounds good.
Let's take it from ward off right. And so the same thing applies. And here's it again. You can often, as we said, as I've mentioned before, you can find the answers in the very beginning, right? Even when we do this opening piece, right? You're not just shifting to the side. You're winding into that hip. Right, the shoulders and hips are these kind of ball and socket joints, right? And they circumduct, they move in this three-dimensional range of motion, right? As opposed to a knee that really only has this what they call a sagittal movement. It really only moves in one plane of motion, right? The hip and shoulder joint, they move in 3 planes of motion, right? So anytime you're really moving into it, you're shifting weight, there's always a little bit of rotation. And what we want to do is we want to kind of capitalize on that. We want to experience that rotation. And then as we experience what the body naturally wants to do, then you can start to use it. And what I mean by that is, like, you watch good athletes, they use that rotation and they actually wind. They kind of harness the kinetic energy that's stored when you allow your body to wind into the motion, right? Think about, like, golf, tennis. You're winding into that hip joint so you can unwind and use that power that you've stored in that tissue.
Right.
All right, you guys, let's do it again, coming from that ward off right. So again, ward off right, right foot's in front, left foot's behind. That left elbow gently drops down, left palm behind the right. Soften in the shoulders. 1, we're going to turn a little to the right. 2, we're going to shift the weight back into the left, and as we do, we continue turning a little to the right, winding into that left hip. We're going to unwind the arms down. The palms float up. We're going to shift that weight forward, and we're going to just wind into that right hip a little bit. And as we wind into the right hip, we're going to spin a little to the left so that we can unwind back to the right. Shift the weight back to the left, winding into that left hip a little bit. Shift the weight forward into the right, and then we're going to unwind as we open up. Whoa, slow down. 1, shift back into that left hip, wind into that left hip, and then we're going to spin back to the left. Shift your weight into that right foot, wind into that right hip, and then unwind back to the left. Take that step. Shift your weight into that left foot. Bring that palm up and turn in. 1, shift into the right. 1 to the right. 2, unwind back to the left. Shift into the left. Step to the right. Shift into the right. Turn in the left. Arms come down. Right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside. And release. How's everybody doing with that? Any questions?
No.
I sort of got mixed up on that one, but yeah.
It could have been my cueing. All
That's
right.
also thought.
Let's take it back even further. Does anybody have any questions about that so far or anything else?
No, I think it's good.
Okay. All right. So again, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to continue kind of just taking it back a little bit, right? So let's take it back now to ward off left. Left foot's in front, left hand's in front. Right? So again, same idea, right? We're just going to soften in the shoulders, bring your attention all the way out to the tips of the fingers. The tailbone gently pulls down, the back of the skull, crown of the head pulls up towards the ceiling, right? 1, we're going to turn to the left. In order to be able to spin back to the right. 2, we're going to take that step back into the right. 3, we're going to shift into that right foot, kind of wind into that hip, spin a little to the left, and spin back to the right. 1, turn a little to the right. 2, shift the weight back. 3, sweep the arms down and away. The palms float up. We're going to shift that weight forward. We're going to wind into that right foot, and then we're going to bring the palms together. Shift the weight back into the left. Shift the weight forward into the right, and then we're going to, slow down. 1, wind back into that left foot. 2, unwind to the right. 1, back into that right foot, and then unwind back to the left. Take that step back into the left. Shift your weight into that left foot, wind into that left foot, unwind, and then we'll turn in. 1, shift back into that right foot. 2, turn that left foot in, shift into the left, step back to the right, shift into the right. Again, we'll bring the arms down, right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside, and release the arms back to your thighs. All right, you guys, let's take it back from the beginning. Now, let me show you this.
Jordan,
Yes,
put me on mute because my gardeners are here and they're going to make a lot of noise. Okay?
You got it. You got
Okay,
it.
I might be here for a minute, but I'll be back.
Okay, you got it. Olivia, I'm not sure how I can. Never mind. I've got it right here.
Okay.
All right.
I'll be back.
You got it. All right, you guys. So here, there's, I want to bring something to your attention, 2 things actually to your attention, and then we'll go back through the form again. And this is, so we're spinning. You're always spinning. Even in these what seem to be linear movements or satchel movements, there's always a little bit of rotation happening at the hip and at the shoulders, even here in the very beginning. And that's why you probably heard me say this before. I think some of the most complicated moves in Tai Chi are the ones like in the very beginning where where it appears you're just moving in this plane of motion. Because it's easier to find this winding and unwinding, this kinetic energy when you're rotating, right? Think again, golf swing. It's easier to find this kind of power, right, when you're rotating, right? When you're rotating. It's a little more challenging when you're kind of just straight on and you're trying to create this energy, this winding and unwinding in this kind of this sagittal position, right? So but it's there, right? It's there, and what I mean by that is the joints are always kind of winding and unwinding, winding and unwinding, right? It's always present in the Tai Chi form, and it's really present in your everyday movement. And if you can find it, I think what you can begin to discover in your own movement. I think what you'll find is, again, just greater ease in your movement. And then, John, again, like in your dance, kind of that same idea.
Right.
What I feel, yes, Ellen?
I can't see you. I can only see Olivia's yard.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh.
Let me make sure. You know what? Let me see if I can. You know what? Here we go. let me see. Okay. So Ellen, what are you seeing now?
Just the yard, just Olivia's place.
How is that?
It's the same.
It's the same, huh? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can make sure that I'm. Ellen, what are you seeing now?
The same thing. I can see myself.
John, what are you?
In a little corner. I can't see John, but I can't see you.
I can see Ellen. Right now, I see
Yeah, I can see John.
I think who's ever talking is going to take the dominant.
Yeah, even when he was talking. There we go. I can see you.
Can you see me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, let me see. How about now, Ellen?
Perfect. I can see you.
Okay. And if that, again, please, if that changes, please let me know.
Okay.
All right. So let me, so let's see real quick. So, yeah, so see if you can find that in this, that's kind of like my homework to you guys. See if you can find that in your everyday movement. It's find the release, find the winding and unwinding. And, and again, you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. Like, even like if you're reaching for a door, right, you're opening up your car door, right? You're always winding and unwinding, right? And see if you can find it. You'll find that there's no ease. What we tend to do is we create a lot of tension often when we're doing something, even when we're walking, right? As opposed to kind of letting the body release and experiencing, even when you're walking, right? There's a winding and unwinding. There's different phases of gait, right? When that foot is planted, you're kind of winding into that hip so you can step and unwind, right? Wind into the hip, step and unwind. And obviously that's an exaggeration, but that's some of the mechanics that are actually taking place that we sometimes take for granted. So I think if you can find that movement in your body, find the efficiency by winding and unwinding. See if you can notice it in your everyday movement.
Like reaching for a glass of wine.
Yeah. Like
right. Yeah.
And cheering someone. Cheers.
That's it. And sometimes it's even just noticing. But seriously, so when you reach for that glass of wine, right? When you reach for that wine, right, you're gonna there's this as you'll unwind, right? You'll unwind to reach for it, right? As opposed to this, right? As opposed to create, rigid tension, you're unwinding to reach for it, and you're pulling it back, right? And I think that if you can kind of find that efficiency, it's almost fun to play with too. It's fun to play with moving with a little bit more fluidity and grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be nice.
And I think that's the practice of Tai Chi can help bring that out. All right, you guys. So let's take it back again, and we'll cruise through from the very beginning. Do you guys have any questions before we do?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and as you guys learn or are exposed to some of these little nuances, see if you can find them. Again, now that you guys have the form, this section of the form down, and what you'll notice is, and hopefully you already are, that it's requiring less kind of cognitive thought to move through, and your body will start kind of naturally doing it. As that happens, right, you can layer on more and more of these little nuances. And again, they're just kind of ideas, right? They're just ideas that will help you kind of begin to move in a little bit different way. All right, well, let's begin. So again, we'll start off feet together, heels touching, right? Tailbone gently pulls down deep into the center of the earth. Crown of the head gently pulls up towards the ceiling. We're soft in the armpits, letting the thumbs just gently graze the thighs. 1, we're going to shift to the right. 2, we're going to step to the left. shift into the left, and then turn in the right. Again, release the ankles, the knees, and the hips. And as you inhale, the tailbone pulls down and the fingers rise. As you exhale, we're going to pull those fingers back to you. Inhale, the tailbone tucks, the elbows come down. And then exhale, we're going to bring those fingers down. 1, wind into that left foot, left hip. 2, unwind back to the right. Shift your weight into that right foot. Wind a little to the step to the left. Wind into that left foot, and then we're going to unwind back into the left. Spin a little to the left. Wind to unwind back to the right. Take that step back into the right. Shift your weight into the right, into that right foot. Wind a little to the left, and then unwind back to the right. 1, turn to the right. 2, shift your way back into the left foot, winding a little to the right, and then unwind back to the left. The palms come up, shift your way forward, wind a little to the left to unwind back to the right. Shift your way back into that left foot, shift your way forward into the right foot, and then unwind. 1, shift your way back into the left, wind a little to the right, spin to the left. Shift your weight into that right foot, wind a little into the right foot, unwind back to the left. Take that step back into the right. Shift your weight into that right foot, wind a little to the right, and then unwind back to the left. Continue unwinding as you turn that right foot in and you turn the palm over. 1, shift to the right, wind a little to the left. 2, unwind back to the right. Shift into the left, step to the right, shift into the right, wind a little to the left, and then spin back forward. Hands come down, right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside, and then release. How was that for you guys?
Better. That was good.
All right. Olivia's back too. All right. So let me unmute Olivia so she can chime on in. Oop, 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 oop. There we go. All right. Hang on 1 second. Don't unmute you. Got it. All right. Can you guys see me okay?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, great. So then I want to say bring one more thing to you guys' attention, and then we're just going to kind of cruise through a couple of times just doing that section of the form. So when we're winding, there's some things that if we wind, see if I can, if you're winding a little to let's just say I'm on my right foot, and I'm winding a little into that hip, that feels fairly normal, right? So what I mean by that is it feels kind of good to close this hip down and then unwind back up. That feels fairly normal, I think, for a lot of us. What sometimes tends to feel foreign in Tai Chi practice is the opposite. And here's what I mean by that. A lot of times, so whenever you're coming into, let's just say, ward off right, you're shifting into that right foot, but you're still winding. You're just winding in the other direction. So I'm shifting into that right foot, actually winding in this hip joint a little to the left so I can spin back to the right. Does that make sense to you guys? So we're shifting into that right foot, but we're winding a little to the left so that we can unwind back to the right. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're exaggerating a lot of these winding and unwinding right now, aren't you? I mean, it seems like when I watched you before, it's more subtle than that.
Exactly. I'm exaggerating it right now. Totally. Yep. Totally. And sometimes, you know, John, and sometimes I'll do that in my own practice just to experience the that flow and that kinetic energy. Right? And you can kind of, you can oscillate between, you can practice any way you want, right? There's a lot of power in that. You do have to be a little careful. Like Livia, I would say you have to be careful with some of that, especially on your left side, because it can place, if you do a lot of focus on that, it can place a lot of torque at that knee joint. Does that make sense to everyone?
Mhm.
So if I'm spinning a lot, right? Let's say I'm on my left foot, right? I'm coming into ward off left, and I do a lot of spinning to my right to come back to the left. You can get that energy can get caught. That torque can get caught in that knee if you're not careful. So this is just something to be aware of, and this is a bit logistics. And you always want to make sure, just like in exercise, like in our squats, our deadlifts, that knee is tracking that toe. What you don't want to happen is this: as I spin to the left, see how that knee's caving in?
Mhm.
You don't want that to happen. Right? You want that knee to stack right over the top of that toe. You want to unwind in the hip, but notice that knee's not going anywhere. Right? That knee's staying right there in line. So when I come back, right? Does that make sense to everyone?
Mhm.
As opposed to this and maybe this, right? We don't want this movement right here. So you just got to be a little gentle when you're playing with this, right? Again, there's a lot of power, right, that you can harness in spinning and unwinding. But if it's not going into the floor, then it can get caught sometimes in joints, especially specifically in the knee. All right, so let's do it again. Let's take it from the beginning and take any little bit of that resonated with you or that you'd like to work on and just apply it to your Tai Chi form. Again, think of Tai Chi as like this. Think of Tai Chi as form and ideas. It's form plus ideas. And the ideas are helping us, it's a kind of a platform, right, for us to kind of upload and improve our movement mechanics. And we're using the Tai Chi form and the ideas that we apply to the Tai Chi form to help us do exactly that. Let's begin. We'll take it from the beginning. Right, so feet together, heels touching, tailbone gently pulls down as we soften the ankles, knees, hips. The crown of the head gently pulls up towards the ceiling. We're softening the armpits as the thumbs gently graze the thighs. We're going to shift into the right, wind into that right hip, 2, step to the left. Shift into the left, unwind back to the right. We're going to release ankles, knees, hips. Tailbone's going to pull down. The fingers are going to rise. We're going to pull those fingers back to you. Tailbone down, elbows down, fingers rise. And then we're going to finger paint down the wall. 1, shift into the left. 2, pivot back to the right. Shift into the right. Step forward with the left. Shift into the left. Wind a little to the right. Spin back to the left. 1, turn to the left. Spin back to the right. Take that step back into the right. Wind a little to the left to spin back to the right. 1, turn to the right. 2, shift back. Wind a little to the right so you can spin back to the left. Arms come up. Shift the weight forward. Wind a little to the left to spin back to the right. Shift your weight back. Shift your weight forward. Wind a little to the left to spin back to the right. Shifting to that left foot. Wind, spin the arms around. Shift into the right, wind into the right, spin back to the left. Take that step back into the left. Shift into that left, wind a little to the right to spin back to the left. Spin back to the left. 1, shift your way back, wind a little to the left. 2, back to the right. Shift into the left, step to the right. Release the arms down. Right arm on the outside, left arm on the inside, and release.
That was nice.
All right. Let's do it one more time together before we close. I'm going to kind of give less of the winding, unwinding nuances and let you guys just kind of experience it on your own. Dan, John had mentioned that, like, I mean, obviously that, brought out the point that I'm kind of being more focused on this winding and unwinding. And again, you can kind of do it however you want. When I do my own practice, there's times when if I'm just like high energy, or if I've just got maybe a little bit of anger and frustration in me, I'll make it a little bit more dynamic, and I'll really rewind and unwind and just kind of get, move a little bit more dynamically. Tai Chi was and still is a martial art, and that's kind of that was the system that you could say that this form was used for. Doesn't mean it has to be. Think of Tai Chi as more like a kind of a software program or hardware that you can update software on, right? So you can kind of use it for whatever you want. For me, it can often be a way to kind of release some tension, right? So, but you can practice in any way you want. There's times, especially if I'm fatigued, I make it much more meditative, and there's less focus on that winding and unwinding, and it's a little bit more subtle. And I'm just trying to kind of find the flow, right? Just to kind of ease and relax into it. You can really make it what you want. I think the key behind this winding and unwinding is that it helps to allow you to begin to experience the flow of the Tai Chi. And as my teacher, Grandmaster William Chen, often says, I don't do the form, the energy does. And really the energy that he's talking about from a Western standpoint is just the kinetic energy of winding and unwinding, right? We're winding, we're unwinding. And that winding and unwinding pulls right into the next winding and unwinding, right? It's just this constant winding and unwinding. It's like a pendulum swing. One leads right into the other. One leads right into the other. All right, let's do the form one more time, and then we'll close. All right, you guys. So again, we're just going to release the ankles, knees, hips. The tailbone pulls down, crown of the head pulls towards the sky, soften the armpits. One, shift to the right, step to the left. Shift into the left, turn in the right. Release, ankles, knees, hips. Inhale, tailbone drops, fingers rise. Pull those fingers back to you. Tailbone drops, elbows drop, fingers rise. Finger painting down the wall. One, shift to the left, pivot back to the right. Shift into the right, step forward with the left. Shift into the left, turn that right foot in on the heel. One, turn to the left. Two, spin back to the right. Take that step back into the right. Wind into that right foot, right hip, and then unwind back to the right. One, turn to the right. Shift the weight back. Sweep the arms down and away. The palms float up. Shift the weight forward and press. Shift the weight back. Open up the arms. Shift the weight forward, push that big wave of water. Shift the weight back, extend the arms. Turn that right foot in. Shift into the right, wind into that right foot, unwind back to the left. Step back to the left. Shift into that left foot. Bring that palm up and turn it. One, shift to the right. Two, unwind back. Shift into the left, step to the right. Arms come down. Right hand on the outside, left hand on the inside. And release. All right, you guys. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good, good. Yeah, it's beginning to flow a little bit. So
all
that
right.
feels good. Yeah.
Awesome. See if I can unwind unwind. I can't, Olivia, if you want to comment, I can't unmute you for some reason, but you can, right? So you can just click on your screen and go to if you want, you can go to the bottom left corner and you can unmute yourself if you want to. You click on that little microphone icon in the bottom middle of the screen. You'll see a little microphone. If you want to comment, you can do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm back.
There she is.
Hey, Libby.
Hi.
Do you guys have any questions and any questions or comments about that? I hope that was helpful, not too much.
Well, it'll be interesting to try it out on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's exactly it, John. That's great.
Yeah.
That's exactly that, and that's what you want to do, right? Because it really is. I mean, it's great to do Tai Chi with a group. It really is, especially when you could do it together, everybody in person, because there's this kind of synergistic breathing and energy thing going on. But on your own, you can really explore some of these nuances, and it's just it just feels really really good.
Good. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Welcome.
Jordan.
Welcome,
Thank
you guys.
you.
Bye, Ellen.
Bye, John.
For you guys, does meet seem okay? All right. Okay.
Okay, we'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, Ellen. Bye, John. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Jordan.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I do this?
Let's see. Know how
Hang
to
up.
How do
turn
I
it off.
Bottom screen, just hit the hang up button.
Hang up.
hang up? Okay.
Hang up.
Bye.
Hang up. Hopefully I hang up. Whoops, I don't think I hung up.
I haven't either.
I can hear the
Okay, how do
birds.
we do that?
Let's see. Hang up.
Where does it say? Oh, I saw. Okay, I saw a phone.